how to overcome the temptation of immorality. A lot of people are making New Year resolutions. We are deciding to do this for the Lord, become disciplined, become devoted to the things of God. There are a lot of decisions and New Year resolutions that people are going to make as we march into 2026. But one thing that you must decide to do is to set up systems that will help you overcome the temptations of immorality. I am going to share with you a story, a personal experience on how the Lord helped me to overcome sexual seduction. So, a few months after I returned from Crossover, where I was pastoring to Abawes Conference here in Abia State, Nigeria, the church here is always open. People can always walk in to pray. Sometimes these people invite me to come close the prayer for them and all of that. So one of the days, I was alone here in the compound. Only me stayed here in the compound. It's a big compound. So one young lady dressed in a very, very seductive clothes walked into this place. Now, that was very early in the morning. The church is not yet open. I have not yet opened the church so that people can always come in. So the young lady came and knocked. I came out and she said she wants to use the church. God's people, you need to see the kind of dress that this young lady wore. You need to see her mannerism. You need to see the facial expressions. It was pure seduction. At that point, I realized what was going to happen. I didn't need someone to come and prophesy to me that this girl did not come for any prayer. I didn't need a prophet to tell me, or I didn't need an angel to come and reveal to me that I was in danger. You could see the facial expression, you could see the dressing, and God's people, it is not just that I stood there looking at this thing. It was not an easy thing looking at this young lady. At that very instant, something I could not really understand overwhelmed me. It was as though I felt the spirit of lust taking over me. But you see, immediately the spirit of God ministered to me, and I realized that it is not going to end well if I think that I am strong. And so I quickly opened the church and ran. It was obvious that I was running. I was in a hurry. And so I ran inside the parsonage, understanding what was happening to me. I started praying. Now, you could say, why didn't you walk out of the church? You see, that very situation was not a situation where I probably would be harsh on this girl, because if care is not taken, there is a way you might react, or there's a way I might speak to this young lady, and she will, maybe undress herself and begin to shout that I was trying to rape her. You get the point? So I needed to walk with wisdom at that very point. So I did. I wasn't harsh to her, even though I realized what was happening. So I also did not take it lightly. So I ran inside and I started praying. I started singing, "Would you be free from the burden of sin?" And then, most people, after singing that song, I started praying and praying and praying, and I felt that weight, that load, that thing that seems to have engulfed me, leaving me. It was the devil at that point trying to force me into doing something that would have brought a long-lasting disaster in my life. And you see, God really helped me. You see, I didn't continue to stay there. I immediately prepared and I left the church premises. I locked up the parsonage and I left the church premises, so that I will not tell stories that touches the heart. Now you see, immediately I left that place. Immediately I left the church, I went with my friend to see somebody. Shout out to Pastor Maxwell Chimina, a very good friend and a prayer partner. On that very day, I met with him and I shared with him my experience and how the Lord had saved me. Now, I do not know if this my story actually was so dramatic in me trying to explain it, but you see, Even though this girl didn't really, make any obvious drama or create a scene, I understood what was about to happen. I didn't need to allow anything to happen before I realized that something was about to happen. You get? Now, do you think I was able to overcome that seduction that was about to happen because I decided that instant that that will not happen? No, it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen. What the devil wanted to do did not happen, because just like Daniel proposed in his heart in Daniel 1:8, I already proposed in my heart that such kind of thing would not happen. It was a decision that was taken long before that very time. And that is how faith works. You see, faith does not work because you believe that God will answer that prayer in that instant. Faith is a lifestyle. That is why the Bible calls us to live a faithful life. A life that honors God, reveres His person. And whenever you are in temptation, you will see God coming through for you. There is something many Christians do not know. And that is that we all need to create systems, create guidelines for ourselves. We are not supposed to leave things to chances. Nothing should be left to chance. You must be prayerful, you must be studious of the word of the Lord, and you must be ready. The Bible says that you should watch and pray. Alright? You must be ready as a watchman, knowing that the devil can attack at any moment. And so, whether you are just waking up or you have been awake for a long time, or at any time, we must be vigilant so that the devil will not take us unawares. We really need to be very careful, because sexual sin is one of the things that is thriving at the moment. If you take the internet, a lot of apps are there to take you to dating sites. Plenty of these applications that what goes on there. We should be very careful. We should be very careful and endeavor to partner with the Spirit of God so that we will not fall victim of this kind of thing. You see, sexual seduction or sin is no respecter of persons. It does not care whether you're a pastor. It does not care whether you are an elder. It does not care whether you are an OS member of the church, whether you are a youth minister, men minister, or women minister, whoever you are. You must be careful. You must create systems around yourself in 2026 so that you will not fall into these kind of temptations. It is my prayer that as the Lord gave me victory, He will also give you victory in all of your experiences and all of your challenges. And as you partner with the Lord, this will surely be your experience. In Jesus' name, amen.